Time for another Coach Life. It is a rainy Wednesday. We have MCAS testing, no expeditionary learning, so the rain seems appropriate. It is difficult to see the amount of damage that standardized testing does to students and to know that we still agree to it. I had a strong feeling that what we're being forced to endure right now is to recognize what we don't want to have to continue, kind of to see what we don't want to do in the future, but we still have to kind of go through the motions of it today. So that's what it feels like, and the weather seems to be reflecting it. It was a rough day yesterday for a lot of folks, and someone at the end of the day said that the astrology said it would be so. One of the teachers hit a deer in the morning. Students were just in a weird space. I've had loved ones who are struggling, people getting COVID, but then there's also this pushy, unmasked energy that is demanding that the pandemic be over. And then, of course, there's folks that don't think it was a pandemic in the first place. And then there's folks that are hypochondriacs and still haven't come out the house. It's just a lot to process. Just imagine being a 14-year-old in a school right now where half the people are wearing masks, half aren't. The signal itself says you're either risking your life or risking other people's lives or not. And you don't know which is. It's just an incredible amount of instability when you don't know, okay, mask, no mask, healthy, unhealthy, healthy, healthy, to each his own. Is it a matter of opinion now? So like public health is a matter of opinion. It's a matter of public safety is a matter of ideas and expression. So there's no more real evidence for any of this. Where does it begin? Where does it stop? I know it's a crisis of leadership, but people don't necessarily want to hear that, because then that means if you can't trust your leaders or you can't depend on them to guide you, that whole point of a leader is to have vision moving forward, to anticipate some, to have the tools to navigate. The whole purpose of a leader is to direct, manage, maintain. So if the leaders are doing the same confusion soup, then that's tough for followers. I mean, it's tough for leaders, obviously, but if you're a follower and you're realizing, wait, the leaders aren't necessarily leading properly, then that means you have to lead yourself or find a new leader. And followers don't like to hear that. Well, for one, it highlights the fact that they're followers, and followers don't like to hear that they're followers, even if they literally agree to follow people. They want to say it's something else. I'm not following. We're friends. no, you're following. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's not built to be a leader. I'm just saying people who are followers don't like the light to be shined on them. It's part of the reason why they're followers. They prefer to watch other people, learn from that. They don't necessarily want that, the pressure or the penalties of leadership. Completely fine. I agree. I follow a lot in many respects, but not with my life force. And right now, there's no question the life force is in the balance. To put it another way, the stakes are as high as they've ever been, and there's no debate. Normally, you could have the older generations would say, oh, back in my day, such and such, but now everyone's clear. This is the highest stakes, period. You're living in it. So, on the better note from this morning was I had a strong sense that we were being taken care of. It was just medicine that we didn't necessarily want to take right now. So if you can remember a moment when perhaps the chips were down, or you didn't feel like, if you can remember a moment where you felt life was really difficult and you couldn't really see over the horizon. If you can remember that, and remember that there was always something that followed it, and there was always some kind of bounce back. Always. You know, if you're here in this moment, you had, I don't know how many bounce backs. There will be more. So it's one of those situations. Some people will call it faith. Some people will call it trust. Some people will call it endurance or grit or determination. When it's not easy, that's when a lot of people want to give up. That's when a lot of people want to, go back to unhealthy habits. And I would say don't be hard on yourself if you backslide a little bit, but understand that these are the moments that make the next 10, 20 years. Like I used to say to the basketball players, make sure you murder the transitions. Now, maybe I shouldn't have used such a harsh word, but you understand the point. Like, you gotta murder the transitions. Like, when it's tough, when it's like, oh, I don't know, I'm scared, like, full confidence, go into that thing, execute. Like, obviously, you're not gonna, there's no perfection. Why would you want that? But so obviously it's going to be a struggle, but you get yourself in the habit of facing that fear and the transitions rather than letting them get you all thrown off. And it's just it's another muscle group. It's like transition basketball, transition. When there's change, most people want to shy away from it or fear it. But for those of us who need to lead a little bit, you have to embrace the change. You have to go into it with a lively spirit so that you can meet and match the energy that you want to continue to resonate. So liven up yourself. That Bob, man. Anywho, wow, this was longer than I thought it would be. I gotta go set up. So I'll see y'all later. Coach life, baby.